you've made it to that checkpoint. So there's not going to be any opportunity for our runners to get completely soft locked, so they have to start all the way over. But we are getting started here.
And in our first chest, we get a lot of money.
Yeah, 300 rupees, very, very nice, especially early on. You may need some of those rupees to get some bombs if you don't get any escape. It's a good way to save up for Zora, so yeah, definitely a good thing to start with.
It's also helpful for the bottle vendor when they go right in the Kakarika village.
Exactly.
But now we get to see what the uncle has for us today.
Ooh, fire rod.
Very useful. Does a lot of damage, kills every enemy in the escape sequence in one hit, so our runner... Oh, we actually get a sword, too.
Oh no, how boring.
I imagine they'll be using the fire rod because it kills all the enemies in one hit, and it'll make getting through this escape sequence very quick.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see a lot of utilization of that fire rod, potentially for the rooms where you have to kill the guards. That'd be a good way to just kind of very quickly get rid of those enemies. And then other ones, you could kind of just use the sword and get some spin attacks in as well. And see, this way, if they do run out of magic, they do have the sword to fall back on, too. So that's always nice.
Exactly, because I know the rats in the sewers can be a little finicky at times, so if they end up running out of magic using all the fire rod shots, then they can just use the sword and collect the key and be on their way.
Exactly. Now I'm almost wondering if maybe we'll see another potential uncle item down here as well, just because we get two immediately in this seed.
I imagine we'll be seeing bombs soon enough, probably from drops.
Yeah, that is what the runners are going to be hoping for, especially this early on, because there are those 3 chests at the very end of Escape, and there we go. Rick gets an 8 bomb drop right there. So hopefully Katatatta kills enough soldiers so she can actually get that as well.
We're picking up the map where the blue boomerang usually is.
Ooh, okay. Hopefully she gets through this room fast enough so she can go back and get that 8 bomb drop. Okay, good.
And Rick's handling the ball and chain guard like it's a marshmallow being roasted over a fire.
Yep. Fire Rod takes care of that guy in just 1 hit, so definitely a good use of that Fire Rod that we have.
And Zelda's cell holds us a bomb capacity upgrade. Not particularly useful right now, but it might later on if we're going to need bombs a lot.
That's true. Generally, I find that if you happen to come across an 8 bomb drop early, you're generally pretty set for the rest of the seed, because you'll at some point find some bomb chests. Then there's of course going to be some pots in dungeons that have bombs, so if you find that 8 bomb drop, you should be good to go, but you never know, so it's always good to try to get a few extra bombs here and there if you can come across them.
Now our runners are making their way back through the castle and heading up towards the throne room, where they've been heading through the sewers, just like in the vanilla game.
Mm-hmm. And if you are coming to this mode from other tournaments, you will notice that despite our runners not having the lamp, you will still be given a free light cone in standard mode, just because you have to make your way through here. And it would be really, really unfair to force runners through dark rooms if they can't really handle them. So even though we don't have that lamp, we will be seeing the light cone here, so no worries there.
But from here on out, until they find the lamp, we will be going through some dark rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, more money.
Yeah, that's Zora and Bottle Vendor pretty much taken care of now at this point, so don't have to worry about that.
And coming up in the next room after this one, Rick will be free of the light cone, and we'll be bombing the wall to the left to pick up the 3 chests here. We'll see what those have. Nothing too exciting.
We did get 3 more bombs though, so we have bombs locked behind bombs. Use 1, get 3, but get 2 more. So yeah, looks like Rick is going to be finishing the escape sequence with a 6:11, 6:12, which is a really, really good time. That's kind of the time you want to aim for in getting through escape as quickly as you can. So very nicely done on his behalf. But the fire rod definitely made things a lot faster, I imagine.
Yeah, not wasting like a couple extra seconds on extra sword slashes helps.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you think he'll be going first?
Well, if I know Rick, he's probably going to go... Oh, actually, okay, I don't know Rick. He's going to go straight to Kakariko. I thought he would be going up for Lumberjack.
Looks like he's going to be doing that kind of in reverse. He's going to be checking Lost
Maybe.
Woods and then hitting Lumberjack up and then making his way down to Kakariko Village.
But yeah, still a pretty standard play that you see, especially in these early standard mode runs. As soon as you get on with Escape, you definitely want to make your way to Kakariko. There's a lot of items there, a lot of opportunity to find more progression items, so definitely a good place to start.
And Katatatta finishes up the escape sequence and will be making her way up into either the Lost Woods area or in Kakariko.
One thing I guess Rick could be doing is he could be waiting to check the Lumberjack tree a little bit later when he has the boots, so that way, if you have the boots, you can just use that as an indicator. Okay, well, I can get the bonk rocks. Maybe I'll just check Lumberjack really quick and see if there is anything here, since it would probably be in logic around that point.
Probably, but still, having the information early is really useful.
Mm-hmm. And we are going to get that information, too.
We are. Meanwhile, Rick is checking out the Thieves' Hideout. Finds a sword upgrade. And blue mail.
And in the Lumberjack tree, we just had a heart container. That is not going to be required to beat this seed. Aghanim is still technically on the table, because we don't know how we're going to get to Dark World just yet, but as far as that item is concerned, we're not going to be beating him for that item anyway.
Exactly, and it also depends on how early we see the hammer, or yeah, basically how early we see the hammer to get access to Eastern Dark World.
Yeah, exactly.
And well, we have more 300 drops.
So yeah, at this point, money's pretty much not an issue anymore. And oh, Moon Pearl right there in the well.
Yep, that'll help.
So I mentioned a little bit ago, yeah, we have the Master Sword now. All we need at this point is the lamp to appear somewhere in logic, and then Aghanim would be fully on the table. That could be Dark World access.
Could be, but I would imagine that these runners would be putting it off as late as they possibly can, just because it's such a big time sink. But
yeah.
Having that access to the Dark World is very useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it starts getting down to those last few locations, runners will seriously have a huge decision on their hands whether or not they want to take that gamble or not. Ooh, bottle at the tavern, which means one more location to check right here.
I always love finding a bottle right there because it's just so convenient.
And it's so convenient. It's what it is in the vanilla game as well.
So basically, after these runners check through Kakariko Village, we'll be starting to see a bit of route divergence. Right now, our open locations are basically the entire South Shore, the area of Eastern Palace, checking behind Hospital's Hut, checking Akina's Cave, and once we find the lamp, we can do Aghanim.
And looks like Rick is going to be taking a small gamble here. It's nothing major. Going to go ahead and go through the twins' house to get to the race game. Some runners like to do this just because if there is something on the ledge, they can go ahead and grab it. But if it's not, then they did waste a little bit of time, but it's nothing too bad. Just some bombs, unfortunately.
And it looks like Rick is going to be heading towards the dam area.
Yeah, and with that Moon Pearl, I'm wondering if this could be a good opportunity for him, and all those rupees as well. He could potentially do some fake flippering to the Zora area, get the Zora item, and also check the Waterfall Fairy Cave too.
Yeah, I know if I would, personally, in this position, I definitely would make that. It's a lot of items. It's a fair number of items, and you're hitting an out-of-the-way location all at the same time. That way you don't have to go back later, waste a bunch of time and head back there and check for items.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we got a Quake Medallion inside the flooded part of the dam, so that's good.
Not sure if it's completely required yet, but we will see, well, later on.
And even then, it can still be used as a screen nuke if you ever want to use it as well, so it's always nice to have for that purpose too.
Katatatta has now saved and quit, and we'll be seeing where she goes now.
Seems like she is going to be following Rick in his footsteps. Honestly, not too far behind, about as behind as she was when she left the escape sequence, so hasn't really lost a lot of time here.
Rick making good use of his bombs that he's acquired, taking out the mini ball bombs. Basically only finding another bottle and then bombos.
Yep, it's another screen nuke and a potential medallion we need to open a dungeon or even get through Ice Palace. Or actually, we have Fire Rod, so that won't even be relevant, but still good to have.
It's good for the Cold Stare fight. You can use the bombos, save a bunch of magic, use the Fire Rod for the puffballs, but I don't think that that'll be really necessary moving forward, given what items that they've acquired so far and what potential items they can have later on.
Yeah, and we don't even know if we need to do Ice Palace yet either, so we'll have to wait and see.
Rick's gonna go ahead and check Ice Rod Cave right now, so he doesn't have to come back later and maybe forget about it.
Just a piece of heart in Ice Cave. And with no save and quit, it looks like he is going to be attempting the fake flipper to Zora. So, again, like you said, I really do like this play. A lot of items we can get right now. Intel on a final item as well, the one on the ledge. So it could basically kind of get some of these items out of the way now, so you don't have to worry about coming back later with the flippers unless you absolutely have to for that ledge item.
Yeah, and for those unfamiliar with the fake flipper glitch, basically if you jump into the water and then do a screen transition in the frame right after, you're basically fake swimming without the flippers. The game doesn't know exactly what's going on, so you're in the swim state. But if you do get hit, you will get one-shot killed. In the vanilla game, this will it'll basically set you back on a ledge, but it'll start screen warping and doing all kinds of crazy things and basically soft lock you.
Oh wow, Cat actually bypassing Ice Cave. Going to be a good play from her if she decides not to go back there because there was nothing there, but actually gains a little bit of time by going ahead and jumping right in here.
Unfortunately, our hobo friend only has an arrow capacity upgrade, and I missed what was on the Hylia Island.
I believe it was just a heart piece.
Now, is it me, or has that location in particular just gotten not a lot of love as of recently?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like I haven't really seen a whole lot of stuff up on there. So I can kind of understand that.
And now Rick is going to be heading towards the waterfall ferry. Now that he has the moon pearl, entering a cave kind of puts him in the swim state in a cave, but once he exits and re-enters, he'll be in the cave as is normal.
Just a piece of heart and some rupees, though, so nothing from there, but we are going to be checking Zora. Now, at this point, checking Zora is still considered a sequence break since we do not have the gloves to get here normally. But gloves could be not too far off, so this is probably close to being in logic a little bit.
And for the ledge item, all we see is the red boomerang.
I do not see them grabbing that. And unfortunately, yeah, Cat takes a death there.
So it'll be interesting. I assume she'll be probably taking. Yeah, she's going towards Eastern Palace and Sahasra's hut right now.
Now this is actually good for her because Rick hasn't really gotten any progression in his sequence break here, so by a little bit, Cat is actually in the lead at this point.
Right, and granted, she might go back and check those at a later point in time, but at least for right now, she would be considered in the lead, getting a few extra checks on Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have our first map check.
Ooh, we have boots and power glove inside Sashrala's hut.
Oh, wow. That'll be very helpful to pick up some of this lost time from this death and basically just extending her quote-unquote lead right now.
Also, as far as the map check is concerned, we do have a all-crystal light world with the red crystals, the 5 and 6 crystals, in Eastern Palace and Desert. So, very nice. I think it's always nice whenever you get all crystals in the light world. They're generally pretty fast dungeons, so you can kind of clean them up very quickly.
Yeah, and then you don't have you aren't necessarily required to go through some of the more tedious Dark World dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, first item we have here in Eastern Palace, just 3 bombs.
And Rick is right on her toes.
Okay, there is the Eastern Palace big key, so we'll be able to see what's inside that big chest here in a moment. And if our runners are lucky, they could actually get the next 2 items in these next 2 chests and then not have to worry about going after that big key chest.
Yep, Nope. Fortunately, Katatatta went for the little trick where you can only spawn 2 Stalfos and then kill them before they spawn, but ends up getting all 4.
Okay, Heart Container's second item in Eastern Palace.
And we'll see, coming up after this big chest, if the lamp's not in there, if she will be doing... Oh my gosh, Titan's Mouth.
Ooh, interesting. Ooh, she did not item count, I guess, because she is going on to check the last chest.
Right, and we've already found all 3 items here.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Rick is just dipping out of there right away.
Looks like Rick is going to be checking... Ooh, oh, you know what? There could be something at King's Tomb.
Yeah, King's Tomb, Bog Rocks, what else is opened up?
With the... Oh, well, here's the last medallion, Ether Medallion, inside here.
You know what? We have Dark World access now.
We do. Yeah, we do. We do have Dark World access. Because, yeah, in order to get Dark World, you either need the Moon Pearl, you need either the Power Glove and Hammer, or just Titansmiths by themselves.
And I imagine he will be checking out the Village of Outcasts, Thieves Town, Skullwoods, all that right away.
Mm-hmm. And Kat has got to be more than likely thinking the same thing, although she does, again, since she did not get Zora, could be thinking that Zora could end up having something, but we'll have to see what she does.
It's possible she wants to wait until the mirror so she can route and catfish there also, but who knows when the mirror is.
Exactly. Ooh, looks like Rick's gonna buy some red potion here, taking advantage of all those rupees that he has.
Can't hurt to have a little bit of safety, especially if you're going to be diving into these Dark World dungeons with only 7 hearts.
Yeah, it is nice that they have blue mail at the very least, but still, Dark World can really, really hurt you. This is about what you'd normally have, if assuming you don't go after too many extra heart pieces. And we also get a map check really quick. Green pendant in Mire, red in Ice, and blue in Thieves Town.
I imagine he'll be diving into Thieves Town anyways. It's 4 unique items, and a lot of the chests are very front-loaded, so they're very quick checks.
Yeah, definitely for the first 4 chests, I could see that happening.
But we see him going into Skullwoods. Makes sense. Crystal Dungeon has everything he needs to complete it.
He does, and that could have been why he bought the potion, because he knew that, okay, I'm going to Skullwoods very, very soon. I'm going to have to fight Mothula. I better get ready for that. And there is the mirror inside the chess game, picked up by Kat.
And Rick needs to be careful. He's gotten bullied by all these beetles here. Is now down to, well, now 2 hearts. We see the Cane of Burna from the C-shaped house by Katatatta, so that extra protection is going to be probably come in handy if the blind fight doesn't go so well. If she decides to do that, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Blind is a pendant, so there is a possibility they might forego that for the time being. And it honestly may not be a bad idea to kind of wait on Thieves Town anyway, because they do not have the hammer yet, and there is a potential for something that could be in that big chest, which you would need the hammer to get to. So...
And Katatatta's just skipping the dungeons entirely right now and going for the shovel game, and... well... If she... oh yeah, she did get the mirror. She's probably gonna be doing the frog, training the frog also.
Yeah, seems like she's going to be focusing a little on overworld stuff, which honestly, not a bad play, especially when you have all these items now. Finds the silvers inside the digging game.
And that'll make, well, once she finds the bow, it'll make a good number of these bosses a lot easier to deal with. Rick's taking the death warp here, which I assume would be intentional to
Yeah, that was
refill some of
definitely
his health.
intentional.
Katatatta's skipping the frog guy and just clearing out a bunch of the southern dark world overworld.
Okay, just 50 rupees in the cave south of the grove.
And old Stumpy doesn't appear to have had anything of use either.
No, I believe it was just a capacity upgrade.
Right, and she's gonna go right for Hype Cave.
Yeah, really trying to get some of those kind of high volume locations out of the way. Honestly, not a bad play. This could always have something like the hammer or maybe even another sword upgrade that should even increase more time or decrease more time, making things a lot faster to kill.
We see the flute in there. That's
Ooh.
definitely right. She's gonna. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. I was just gonna say, like, flute. Right now, we don't know is necessarily required because Meyer is a pendant dungeon, and that's the only required way to get over there. So we don't know if that flute's going to be useful just yet, but it'll just be good for overworld movement.
Well, it does put Death Mountain and Tower of Hera into the logic now.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
And with Hera being a crystal dungeon, I would imagine that pretty soon she might make her trip up there.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Rick is in the Mothula fight, getting kind of low on health.
And we're gonna see this red potion coming clutch handy.
He gets him down, though.
And what is a bug doing with flippers?
I don't know. That does, I mean, not that it really mattered too much. They didn't get anything really from it. It does put the flipper locations back in logic, but he's already kind of looked at all of those now.
It does give them like logical access to Ice Palace now, so
That's true, yeah, it does. And there have been seeds where Hammer has been in there, as annoying as that is.
in Pendant Ice Palace too.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Katatatta's double backing, checking for Ice Rock Cave. Now she has the flute, it's a lot less time to get over there.
Not just the flute, the boots too. Rick did not have those before, so yeah, making a much faster check of that for sure.
And she's heading right on up to the mountain.
Mm-hmm, she is. Yeah, I think once she saw that mirror and flute come into play, probably thinking that, you know, Hera could have something here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, instantly flutes right there.
Ruh-roh.
That happens sometimes. Okay, gonna go in here and attempt going through this dark room to rescue the old man.
Meanwhile, Rick finds his mirror as he goes through some of the Village of Outcast locations that Katatatta did while he was in Skullwoods.
Ooh, unfortunately falls into the pit in this room, so Kat's gonna have to start over on this.
She also only has 1.5 hearts left, so if she takes like another fall or a bonk from one of the bats, it's a little dicey in there.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, falls in the pit at the very end of the room too, and it's gonna opt to just go ahead and leave, it looks like.
Yeah, she does need to be careful. Right as I was about to say something, she needs to be careful of these dang squirrels.
Yeah. Okay, Rick picking up his silver arrows now too.
And Cat's going right back up to Death Mountain, prioritizing Tower of Hero, it looks like.
Yeah. Needs to remember to maybe de-equip that flute though, just so that what happened earlier doesn't happen again.
It's possible she was probably going for a spin speed off the stairs and then just got picked up by the duck.
That's true, yeah, I guess I didn't consider that.
Meanwhile, Rick is taking our froggy friend home. And we'll see what they have to offer him in reward.
Just a little bit of love for helping him out, I guess. Okay, so Kat is making her way into Tower of Hera. Ooh, looks like we have the small key as the first item. That could mean that we might be seeing the basement here.
Well, the good news is that the fire rock was the very first item, so we have all the light sources we need, really, for this dungeon, at least.
Yeah, and oh, no, wait, Kat, no, okay, maybe just realized. Okay, now she realizes.
Yeah, I think she kind of forgot that she had the fire rod.
That's true. I mean, you get the sword and fire rod at the very beginning of the game, so you could honestly make an easy mistake. Oh, right, I did get the fire rod.
Meanwhile, Rick, on his quest to turn the purple chest in, is going through a bunch of the Southern Dark World overworld that Kat already picked up on.
Gonna leave the purple chest right there, but do not fret. The purple chest will still be there as long as Rick does not warp to the light world. So that chest will still be in that location when he finishes with the hype cave here.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be very happy to see that when he gets his flute.
And there is the big key for Kat. So now just gotta make her way up the rest of Tower of Hera. Gonna find one more item here. Tower of Hera has 2 items. We've already got the heart container in here.
Yep, and after Rick turns in the purple chest, I would imagine he would start making his way up to Death Mountain as well. Only gets a piece of heart in return.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of those pieces of hearts and heart containers so far. Gonna check Agonaz, or maybe, okay, checking the desert ledge first.
Yeah, with flute and mirror, it's a little bit, well, I'm not sure if it's necessarily saves more time, but it's good to check there before you flute over to the Mire area and then jump into the Dark World, and then you're out to go to Desert Palace or Desert Palace, and then just run down. It seems a lot more of a pain to do it the other way.
Yeah. Plus, he still has to activate his flute too, so. Ooh, just a single arrow for the second item in Hera.
And now this run is validated.
It's as I always tell people, that single arrow is the final arrow that always goes into Ganon's skull at the very end of the run. That is how I kind of identify that arrow as, anyway.
As long as you don't run out of arrows, it's very well can be it.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Ooh, getting knocked down on the floor by Moldorm there, so gonna have to go back up and give it a second try.
Rick is going to be picking up some more safety potions. And we'll see where he flutes to next. Here he opts for the Mire area. We'll see what medallion requirement is there, but we have all three, so it doesn't really matter. Meanwhile, Katatatta finally takes care of Moldorm after he bounced her around a little bit. Picks up her first crystal, I believe.
That is correct. That is her first crystal. And both runners have slayed the different bosses that start with the letter M.
Yep, and Briggs didn't find anything in the Mire shed area. He's checking Check 4K right now. Only for yet another piece of heart.
At this point, because they have been kind of throwing the medallions at us, there really could at this point be something in Misery Mire.
There could, and they have the boots, so they could get into it perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so first up, we're going to see what is on the torch in here. We have just the map. We don't need that.
And Cats having the same idea Rick had, figuring out might as well knock out Desert Palace. It's very quick. It's a crystal dungeon. You have everything you can do, or you need to complete it.
Yep, definitely a very sensible play here. And wow, we're getting all the dungeon items first in Desert Palace before we get anything else.
Although the good thing is that the way that they've been given access in the desert, they can just mirror out and then get into the back half very quickly.
Yeah, it definitely allows for faster movement through this dungeon, so that's definitely nice. Just a heart container. Again, all these hearts we've been getting.
So both Misery Mire and Ice Palace are looking very appealing after this. Not too many locations left.
There could also be some in Thieves Town, too. Kat did not take a look in there when she was in that area, so... Man, it's really pushing pendant dungeons on us right now.
Yeah, and she also didn't go into Skullwoods at all, so she might be heading there too.
Okay, so we're gonna have the Lamola's fight from Rick here. Gonna be using Fire Rod for the first few shots.
Oh, this is a couple of them.
Looks like he got one hit on each, so shouldn't take too much longer to get him down, but it is unfortunate that he did miss a few shots. Ooh,
It is
that's
hammer
important.
time. It's hammer time.
Yes, it is definitely hammer time now, and that's going to be really good for Rick because when he goes up to Death Mountain, he's going to be able to check the east side once he's done with Hera, so he's going to be able to cover a little more ground than what Cat was able to earlier.
Yeah, not just the east side, but he can also clear out the entire Dark World Death Mountain too.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. Looks like he's going to be giving Misery Meyer a quick check, though, first.
It makes sense. It is our green pendant. And although he doesn't have the King of Samaria to fully complete it, it's still useful.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Can of Samaria. He also does not have the lamp yet either, and Misery Meyer's dark rooms are probably one of the hardest dark rooms to do without that lamp, so he's probably just kind of taking a chance to look through here, see if he can find 2 items in here, and if he has to come back later to clear it for, like, pedestal or green pendant or something, it's already done, doesn't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah, and every single chest in this dungeon except for Vitreous is up on the upper level and doesn't require the lamp or the cane. So you
Yeah.
can knock out every single chest other than Vitreous.
So yeah, it's definitely a fair gamble to make.
Cat's gonna be checking out Checkerboard Cave, going to find a piece of little love in there.
Okay, first 2 chests of Mire have been a small key in the map, so haven't found anything just yet, but we still have a couple of other chests to check first.
Meanwhile, Cat's heart count is now finally caught up with Rick.
Ooh, unfortunately, Rick running out of magic right there, so he's going to have to go back down here to grab another full pot so he can actually light all of these torches. Does draw out the big key from that chest.
Looks like Cat's going back and probably going to be doing Skullwoods and Thieves Town now.
That is good. That'll give her flippers and, of course, another crystal at the end of the dungeon as well. And this also, like with all the other items we've gotten, it does kind of put a few chests in Swamp Palace on the table as well. So once again, giving us more dungeons that we can do a little bit in, but still missing like 1 key item to complete.
Yeah, having multiple dungeons that you can enter and clear some of, not all of, makes it makes the decision a little more challenging.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, there's Tempered Sword, and although not technically doesn't advance the game logic, it's definitely very nice to have.
It'll make the Ganon fight not take 10 minutes, and yeah, it'll just make clearing a bunch of these bosses and enemies a lot smoother.
And looks like Rick is going to have to go all the way to the big chest to find this last item in Mire.
It's also possible that that last item could be on Vitreous too, so...
That's true. Just the compass. Okay, Vitreous does have something. But until we get that can of Samaria, that item we're not really concerned about.
Looks like Rick is going to be hopping with Each Town next.
Easttown is definitely a dungeon that could have quite a bit of value, just considering that really all you need to get through it is just kind of Dark World access to that area. There is one chest you need the hammer for, but as long as you have Dark World access and a weapon that is effective against blind, you can pretty much get through the whole dungeon and find at the very least 3 items. So that kind of puts a lot of possibilities for stuff to be there.
Oh, we see the Ice Rod in the Hammerpeg's cave.
Ice Rod, that will be required. Turtle Rock is a crystal, so
Yeah.
good that he found that.
And if it's not on your mind as soon as you get the hammer, or if you're in the area, Hammerpegs is one of those locations that you can easily forget.
Mm-hmm, definitely. It is actually kind of funny because I was looking at the player biographies before this match, and the item that Rick said he'd like to find immediately was Fire Rod, and the item he'd least like to find is Ice Rod. And he did get Fire Rod pretty immediately, but in this case, Ice Rod, you kind of need it anyway, so it is probably good that he found that.
Yeah, I think it's funny that he says that because Ice Rod is one of those items that can be literally anywhere in the game, save for Ganon's Tower or Trinex.
So yeah, it is probably good that he at least found it here in this particular scenario.
Well, Cat's conserving her magic, taking out the mummies the hard way. And she'll be dropping into the Mothula fight very soon.
Yes, she will, and basically the stats for Mothula is for Fire Rod, you need 8 shots. Now with only half of a normal magic meter, only going to get about probably 3 or 4 shots in, so there's going to be a lot of Master Sword hits that we'll need to see to get through this fight. But doing really good with the Fire Rod so far. Got 3 shots in, getting a lot of good slices here. This is going really well.
Yeah, Mothula's playing very nice with her. Not backing up into the spikes, where if you hit him back into the spikes, it does no damage.
Right, and there she goes. Gets her flippers. That was a really, really well done fight. Unless if she took like a very quick hit at the beginning, I don't think she even took damage during that.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything. Fortunately, she's having a little bit of trouble trying to warp out of there.
That is kind of a very awkward mirror point to find. Normally, you just want to try to mirror inside the doorway of the last area of Skullwoods, just because that's guaranteed to be pretty safe. But yeah, if you don't know that, then it can be kind of awkward to find that mirror point.
And interestingly, she doesn't want to backtrack through Skullwoods to get back to the Village of Outcasts area. Opts for mirroring, including to Kakariko Village and using the warp instead.
Okay, looks like she is thinking about the smiths here, so that's good. She will be able to pick up her ice rod if she checks the hammer pegs, so that's one item that she'll need.
Yep, and it looks like the rest of Thieves' Town doesn't seem to be very profitable for Rick.
Yeah, not really. That's unfortunately going to be a bit of a time loss on his behalf.
Maybe he's playing for the possibility that the pedestal might be required. And if it is, then he's done Thieves' Town and he's cleared basically everything in Myra already.
That is definitely possible. The thing is, at this point, I think only the bow can be at the pedestal. I guess the hookshot could be too, but the Ice Palace logic has to be very, very specific for that to be the case.
Right.
But yeah, that very well could be his play, and if it happens to be there, yeah, this is a good play, so can't blame him for that.
No, and he's also probably playing for the logic that kind of prioritizes dungeons as useful or need required item locations.
Yeah, exactly. I can understand that too. Okay, I think this is the first time we're going to see what's on Bumper Cave here.
And just more arrow, just a larger quiver.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, at this point, I could see maybe, well, Rick's going to check the graveyard ledge here, and then after that, I could see him going to Catfish, and then maybe mirroring over there to take the Whirlpool to Ice Palace. That could be a play.
Yeah, that could be a play. Rick also hasn't been up to Death Mountain yet at all, so he can...
Mm-hmm.
That's easily, what is it, 2 items in Hera, and just... That's easily 15, at least 15 items that he could be getting up there, and we see the lamp in the graveyard.
Okay, yeah, so the lamp has been found. Won't have to worry about any dark rooms in Turtle Rock or Palace of Darkness.
But it looks like we're going to be seeing him head to Catfish right now.
Yeah, that looks to be the case. Meanwhile, Cat looks like gonna be exploring the overworld a little bit. Could be making her way to the pod area now from this angle.
And Rick's doing the exact opposite of what I said, and perhaps going to be checking the pyramid, and then heading down towards pod.
Yeah, looks like both of our runners are doing the same exact check right now. Just a vanilla heart piece. That is where a heart piece is in the vanilla game.
Yep. I wonder how many more of those we haven't seen yet.
I don't know. We have seen a lot. I think we've also seen a lot more pieces than containers too. So there could be just a lot of containers that are still in the field.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like both of our runners are going to catfish now as well.
Yeah, it's that one out of the way location you don't want to forget about.
Definitely not.
Just another arrow upgrade, and Rick is mirroring right the heck out of there and fluting to Services Death Mountain.
Yep, Mountain, okay. I do think this is a great play for him. Going to be able to check all that Cat has already checked and more with the ability to go to the east side of Death Mountain and, of course, some of the dark side, or of the Dark World side of East Death Mountain.
Yep, unfortunately can't check all of Hookshot Cave without the hookshot, of course, but he can check the first chest in there, but otherwise, he basically hits all of it.
And Cat is making the long-awaited Zora check. Was unable to check this earlier because took an untimely death while fake flippering, but we'll be picking up this item now.
Yeah, unfortunately she's going to be met with a little bit of disappointment, but it is a very good play to try to routing Catfish along with your Zora checks, if you can.
Yeah, when it works out that way, it's definitely advantageous to get that there. And looks like we have a red bunny on our hands now.
Oh, did the old man have red mail?
I believe he did.
I would imagine so, because Cat was not successful in retrieving him, I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
And is trying again.
Unfortunately, falls in that pit again. That pit is literally, in my opinion, the worst part of learning this dark room, because it does kind of sneak up on you right there. Once you kind of learn where it is, you can kind of maneuver your way around it and get through this pretty easily.
Well, but she does make it through that and grabs the old man, and let's see if she can make her way back.
Looks like she made it.
Yeah. For those trying to learn this dark room, a good strategy is when you start heading left is to also hold down, that way you avoid falling into the pit. And then when you hit the wall on the left side, you will know and start going straight down, but then you know you've made it past that hole and you can go back up and get the old man.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the dark rooms I would recommend kind of learning first if you want to start trying to learn those. It's very short. It's only about a screen. So, not a bad one to learn first, and it can give you a free item.
I also find that a lot easier to navigate coming through the back end, coming from that mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
Meanwhile, Rix is making his way up through Tower of Hera, much like Cat did earlier. And she appears to be heading towards the eastern half of Death Mountain before Rick does.
Yeah, that looks to be the case. Right now, the only... Well, I mean, okay, there's actually two differences. For one, Rick has the Tempered Sword, but also has the lamp as well. But aside from that, like, they'll be even in crystal counts after Rick finishes this, so there's really not a whole lot separating them.
Yeah, Rick just taking the extra time to check Meyer and check info and clear out Thieves Town. Just getting a few more item locations, getting that Tempered Sword in Meyer, but otherwise not. Mostly just sinking time in, just checking locations. Unfortunately, not being paid off for it.
Yeah, but that's just the way Rando goes sometime. As we get the bow, that is one of the big items that we have left remaining on the table.
So what haven't we found? We need the hookshot and the cane of Samaria, and I believe that's it.
Yes, at that point, those would be the only two items we need. Just the hookshot and Cane of Samaria. Hookshot, there's a little possibility, like, it could be kind of in a weird position, but at this point, yeah, I'd say that Pedestal is more than likely dead. As we get the Cane of Samaria, we just need a hookshot now.
Yep. And let's see. We have all of Pod, and as well as the Armos Knights. Oh wait, we already found all three items in Eastern. But yeah, we basically have all of Pod and the left half of Swamp Palace and Turtle Rock.
That's true. Yeah, Turtle Rock is on the table now as well.
So with the Cane of Samaria in hand, we could see a play going right into Turtle Rock as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
It's an excellent bomb jump by Cat. It's one of the harder ones, I think, to learn. But it's also, if you can get it right, it's also very forgiving.
That's true, and there's not really a huge penalty for missing it either. You can, if you miss it, you can just leave the bottom room and just go around the other way, so you don't lose a whole lot of time. And here we go, Katatatta opening up Turtle Rock.
Yeah, meanwhile, Rick is making his way up from down below. Gonna be checking out the rest of the Dark Death Mountain locations.
Oh, we got the hookshot too. Wow, how did I miss that?
I don't know, I missed it too.
Oh wow, okay, I feel bad about that. Okay, Katatatta technically, not in terms of logic, because Katatatta is missing the lamp, which logically would be required to get through both here, Turtle Rock, and Palace of Darkness. But yeah, both of our runners in a pretty go mode state
yeah,
right
I mean,
now.
we know where everything is now, so... Oh, so that's where it was. The hookshot was in the, a cave right there that Rick just exited.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, she's all, as we established before, she's also behind a sword too, which there are a lot of enemies that just get melted with the tempered sword in here. With Master Sword, some enemies take a little longer to get rid of, so Rick would definitely have an advantage kind of going through this section. Looks like he's going to be saving Turtle Rock for last, though, which is a very sensible play. Once you finish Turtle Rock, you want to be as close to Ganon's tower as possible, so going to go back down the mountain, take care of these locations first.
Yeah, and only having Master Sword if Katatatta gets through the Dark Room in Turtle Rock perfectly fine. Trinix is actually a lot more difficult to manage your magic with if you only have the Master Sword.
Master Sword and just the normal magic meter, too.
Yeah, without a potion, you will basically have to have an ideal Trinix fight. If not, you might not have enough.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Rick is officially in go mode at this point. Going to be going straight through all these dungeons. He's going to want to find the big key as soon as possible, and at least Palace of Darkness anyway. And then just going to be going straight to the end. Not going to be looking for anything substantial.
Yep, and his Swamp Palace will also go significantly faster than if he were exploring in there.
Mm-hmm. And I have to imagine Kat might be checking a few extra chests just to see if she can get that lamp out of the way. Because there are some pretty nasty dark rooms in Palace of Darkness, as well as here as well.
Yeah, and with the lamp being in the north of the graveyard, it will be... I mean, she might have completely forgotten about it. She might have it on her mind when she He starts checking more overworld locations, but yeah, the lamp is in one of those locations that is also very easy to forget about.
Mm-hmm, yeah. If Rick gets the big key here, that'd be really nice. Unfortunately, just a small key. Going to be exploring a little more of this dungeon.
Cat is also out of magic and getting a bit low on hearts, so she needs to be a bit more careful in here.
Yeah, Turtle Rock does not mess around with its enemies and also just general traps as well. Things really, really hurt in here, so you gotta be careful, and you really need that magic too.
Unfortunately, she takes death to the lasers, or the little fireball statues there.
And is opting to go ahead and leave, understandably so.
Yeah, I don't blame her at all.
But with that hookshot, going to be checking out some of these other locations. So going to see what's inside a hookshot cave here.
Hopefully she finds another sword. Probably half magic would also help a lot.
Instead, gets a shovel.
Ugh, I hate finding the shovel.
Yeah, at this point, like, and I mean, especially us, since we're watching this and we know where like certain items are, it's just not good to see a fetch quest item anywhere at this point in the scene.
Right. Meanwhile, Rick is just flying through Palace of Darkness. It's one of the more longer dungeons to navigate, but it's fairly. It's fairly easy to do once you have everything. It just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, I always tell people there's kind of three different parts of getting through Palace of Darkness. There's the gathering keys part, there's the getting all the items part, and then of course getting to Helmasaur, which there's just a nice couple of like rooms, linear path to Helmasaur to get to him. And thankfully in Go mode, you really only have to find the keys and not have to worry about that second part, but it can still be kind of a lengthy process to get through here.
We'll see where Cat decides to go to next.
Looks like she has the same idea Rick has right now. I'm going to be checking some of these other dungeons on the ground first, hoping to run into the lamp or another sword upgrade along the way.
And unfortunately, she, unless she's comfortable with the Palace of Darkness Dark Room, she won't be. Actually, Eastern Palace as well, in that dark room. So
That's true, yeah, that is true.
we'll see where her confidence in navigating those dark rooms lies as she heads that way. Meanwhile, Rick picking up the crystal from Helmasaur.
And I imagine Rick's going to grab the mirror right here, going to immediately mirror to the light world and go straight into Eastern Palace to finish this up. Answer a question in chat. The lamp was actually on the graveyard ledge. And to answer the other question, the bow, hookshot, and cane of Samaria were all on Death Mountain, the east side. So all 3 items that Rick needed for go mode were in that location pretty much. Now, Kat is getting ready to approach the dark room here, and one good thing she has going for her, although she will need a little more magic to do it, is there is actually a torch in this room up here that she can light with the fire rod, but again, she does not really have the magic, but looks like she's going to try to do it without the torch, which it can also be done.
And she had just enough for 1 shot.
Oh wow, okay. Well, that's good. But yeah, you can light this room and see the Igors and all the other enemies, so you can use that as an alternative if you don't know the dark room that well.
It's also very helpful if you're in there long enough and the little spaghetti monsters get out of control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can kind of block your shots, which is annoying.
And Rick is now jumping into Swamp Palace. And then we'll be heading up Death Mountain one more time to Turtle Rock, clear out that, and then into Ganon's Tower he goes.
That's right, and this is honestly going to be a really good seed time for Rick too. It was very nice that he went to Meyer. He's going to have a much quicker Ganon fight as a result. Probably less stress on his mind because Silverless, even though our Master Sword with Silvers can be a bit of a lengthy process, and really the only major time sink that he had was that jump into Thieves Town. That was really the only thing that kind of took a little extra time on his behalf.
Meyer as well, but he did get rewarded with a tempered sword for that, so he will be able to make up that time.
Yeah, it was like, I guess it was kind of a bit of a almost full clear of Meyer, so it did take some time. If he would have maybe gotten the sword and immediately left, it would have probably canceled out the time he would have spent with Master Sword Ganon, but yeah, still, it's probably comforting to him at least.
Yeah, either way, this is very easily a sub 2 hour pace for him.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably be like really close to 130 as well, especially determining where that big key is for Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, that's the name of the game now. Where's that big key?
Well, we'll save that for when we're finishing Turtle Rock anyway.
Yeah.
It's still a little early for that.
Cat's still looking for that lamp. Unfortunately, she's not going to find it in the House of Darkness, but it's not a bad play to start looking in here.
That's right, and much like Eastern Palace, there are some rooms that also have a torch you can use to light the way if you're not incredibly confident with your dark rooms, but there's also a few rooms that don't have the torches either, so, you know, definitely a little harder than the ones in Eastern Palace, but still. There is some safety catches. Meanwhile, Rick entering the Argus fight, going to be making very quick work of him. Making very quick work of Swamp as well. Go mode Swamp is honestly a thing of beauty. It just goes so fast, and when you full clear the dungeon, it's so long, so it's nice to get through here really quickly.
Cat thought about going for the hammer jump, but decided that there was not enough time to set that up. That, or she wasn't confident in being able to set that up in time.
Hammer Yump and just normal standard or open seeds. Don't think it's really too much of a difference whether you do it or not. In Key Sandy, I think it makes a difference because of the key counts and everything, but I wouldn't say it's really anything you really need to focus about learning or doing as much in these seeds.
Yeah, especially if you're a newer runner. Hammer Up is one of the more difficult tricks to learn. I know I haven't even bothered trying to learn it yet. I'm still working on everything else.
What makes it difficult is just the fact that there's a time crunch you're kind of working with while you're kind of setting it up, and that's just, you know, when you're trying to learn these things, just the time crunch is not helpful.
Cat's having a hard time looking for these chests in here.
Yeah, that chest can be a little tricky sometimes because normally you'll try to hug the wall on the left side so you can find out where the chest is, but you have to still move over to the right a little bit just so you can open it. You have to be kind of more in the middle of the chest before you can open it, so it can be kind of tricky to deal with.
Well, it doesn't appear like she's going to be checking the dark maze. Basically understanding the logic that the lamp basically cannot be in there.
Yeah, they will, because this is no glitches, they'll never force you to get through a dark room without the lamp to find the lamp, so Kat's kind of using that to her advantage to know that, well, lamp's not going to be in those last three chests, so I'm just going to go ahead and make my way and try to make my way to Helmasaur without checking those.
Yeah, and if she really wanted to, she can just stop checking chests. But if she's not confident in her ability in dark rooms, then it's definitely better to take the time and look for the lamp some more rather than waste all your time in those dark rooms fumbling around.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, this does mean that we're probably going to be seeing at least be seeing most of the chests in Swamp Palace. from her if she is going to be kind of looking for stuff along the way.
Yeah, and ideally she would want to find another sword upgrade, and we still have one that we haven't found yet. So it might be in swamp, so who knows.
Mm-hmm.
We're just getting dangerously close with that chain chomp dance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those chain chomps, one of the most dangerous enemies in this game, do so much damage, and you can't really even kill them either, so gotta look out for them whenever they're in the room.
Cat's here now in the turtle room, I believe, so she uses the torch, so good awareness by her, knowing that the torch is right there and she can use to her advantage.
That was a nice hammer, and hammering all 6 of the turtles in one swing. That was really nice.
It's very nice for her to do.
And there we have Rick in full bunny suit right now. Getting bunny beamed there. Okay, well, nice navigation of that later dark room. She has made it to Helmasaur.
But she does only have 2.5 hearts left, so she does need to be careful in this fight here.
Seems like she knows how Helmasaur's attack patterns work, too.
Well, getting a couple unlucky fireball shots and getting hit by them.
Basically, as long as you stand either to the top, left, right, or down from the fireballs, you'll never get hit because they always go in diagonals, so you can kind of use that to figure out his pattern. But Helmasaur goes down.
Yeah, excellent work by her. Basically, if you're just patient with those fireballs, then you can navigate through them fine.
Okay, looks like Kat was taking note of which dungeons she has left. Going to be making her way over to Swamp Palace next, I imagine.
She indeed does that, and Rick is making his way through Turtle Rock's dark maze, and will be coming up on the laser bridge.
Yeah, he's going to need to find one small key here, just one, and once he does, he can book it straight to Trinex and Last Crystal.
Taking a little bit of extra time to open the safety exit in case something goes horribly wrong that he doesn't have to navigate through half the dungeon again.
Yeah. Even though he does have Tempered Sword, and that's generally a good sword to have for Trinex. If you just have a couple of unlucky rod shots, you will run out of magic and might have to mirror to get back out of there.
Yep, taking the intentional death there, I believe, so he can fill up some hearts so he has enough for the Trinex fight.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Kat is starting Swamp. And because she is going to be checking a few extra chests that Rick didn't check, because still potentially looking for maybe a lamp find, there is a possibility we could find that other sword upgrade that Rick did not get, so there is a possibility for that.
And Rick takes down the side head's Trinex, unfortunately getting a little bit of ice on the floor, but otherwise very smooth.
Unfortunately, Trinex only dropping a bottle with a B in it does get a final crystal, and with that, we are on our way to Ganon's Tower. And as we kind of hinted at earlier, we do have a little game we like to play with the chat when it comes to this point. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower that could have the big key. Chat, tell us, where do you think that big key is going to end up being? You can give a number, you can give the name of a room. What do you guys think that where that big key is going to end up being?
No, personally, I like picking a specific chest, and I like one of the 4 chests in either the Stalfos room or the Rando room. So today, I think I'm going to go with the bottom right in the Stalfos room.
Okay, that's cool. I'm going to go with my tried and true number 8. Okay, first 2 chests do not have the big key. We do get a small key, though, but it looks like Rick is going to not opt to check the right side just yet. Going to be going over here first.
Yeah, there are a lot more chests on the left side, so it's much more probable for the key to be on the side. But if you execute it correctly, the right side is a lot faster to get through.
Yeah, some runners will opt to just check the right side anyway, just because there are more chests on the left side. If it happens to be on the right side, you kind of see it as, well, this could be an advantage if I check this first. It's not really too long to check that side either.
And unfortunately, my chest just had another 300 rupees.
And I believe we are up to 7 right now, so we're going to see what's in number 8 right here. Nope, just a bomb capacity upgrade.
And we're both wrong.
Yep.
Cat's making her way through the left side of the swamp right now. Just a red rupee there. And power.
Ooh, I believe we got the big key in chest number 11. I believe that's what it was.
Yep. It was basically for me, it was the right location as far as the position of 4 chests goes, but the wrong one. Oh well. But now that he has the big key, Rick will be making his way up the tower, through the gauntlet, and heading towards Aghanim 2.
That's right, and he has all the small keys he does need to do it, because in addition to that big key, You also want to go up with one small key as well, because there are 2 locked doors up here, and you'll get one small key from a Helmosaur enemy, but the other one, if there's not a small key in those chests at the top, you'll be going all the way back down and look for another key, so it's good that Rick kind of made sure he had one extra key before he did this. Unfortunately, it looks like that Katatatta did not find a sword upgrade while going through Swamp Palace, so still sticking with the Master Sword, no lamp combo.
Yeah, and she will really want to try to look for either one of those two for the end game. Master Sword Fire Rod game without half magic is not something I look forward to.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point. And yeah, as you can see, this Argus fight's going to be a little slower too. Unfortunately, with Master Sword, you have to use 2 swipes with each puff as opposed to just one with the Tempered Sword like Rick had. So, gonna take a little extra time here too.
Rick getting through the Lambo 2 fight very cleanly. Mr. Wizrobler.
Thankfully, he did get a small magic pot right there, though, because he was getting pretty low on magic. Thankfully, with the lamp, can light those 3 torches just fine without wasting too much magic. Gets a fire rod shot there, and there's thankfully a magic pot in this room that will fill all of your magic up. Looks like he's going to grab that before he moves on.
And Cat's quest for either a sword or the lamp continues. I imagine we'll see where she's fleeting off to.
Looks like she is going to be grabbing some potions, which honestly leads me to believe that she might be considering trying to get through Turtle Rock without the lamp.
Yep. I mean, if everything goes right in that maze, it should be not super difficult to get through, but if you get lost in there, God help you.
Yeah, it is a very tricky room to get through. It's thankfully just one room, and if you kind of memorize where all the paths are, along with like where the fire bars are, it's not really too bad. I wouldn't say it's the hardest dark room to get through, but again, it's just it all depends on how comfortable you're with that specific room.
Rick is heading up for a geometry test.
That's right. Let's see if we get any triple hits here. Going to be a little difficult to get a triple here, but it could happen. Oh, just one, unfortunately.
Look at bust on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is not playing nice today.
Yeah, I haven't been getting very optimal setups here. The first two seemed good. It was just kind of unfortunate. Gets a triple right there, though. Nice way to finish it off.
Definitely, and he'll be dropping into Ganon, and is very well going to have a easy sub 140, barring any falls or unfortunate deaths to Ganon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cat making her way back into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I gotta say, this was this was definitely really, really good routing and good execution on Rick's part as well. Literally, like the biggest time sink was again that play in the Thieves' Town, which did not really yield anything. The Meyer play also wasting time, but at least got him a Tempered Sword, which will definitely make up a little bit of time here. But yeah, just very, very nicely done. Go mode at a very, very good time, and was able to go mode pretty much 3 dungeons, so it's always nice when that happens.
How many warps is he gonna do?
A whole bunch, apparently.
Yeah, and I'm not too familiar with how the RNG stacks up, but I believe Cat's gonna be facing the same amount of warps there.
Yes, on the initial fights for Ganon and Aghanim, both runners will be expected to have the same RNG and patterns, so all those warps Katatatta will be seeing as well on her first attempt.
Oh, Rick needs to be careful here. One more hug from Ganon. He's fighting the bunny dust there. But he cleans it up very nicely.
Yes, he does. GG, Adirondack. Get your GGs in chat, everyone. Looks like he is going to be the winner of this round 1 race.
Yep, and he finishes with a time of 1:37:55 or 6. I'm not entirely sure what the official one is. I don't have that up. But yeah, definitely GG's to him.
And of course, we're going to see if we can get him in here, if he wants to talk about this race and the seat a little bit. And we have our winner of this race, Adirondack Rick. GG, welcome. How are you feeling after that?
Well, that was an interesting seed. That could have been a sub 130.
Yeah, that is very true. How did you feel about your remaining 3 go mode items all being on East Death Mountain in the Light World?
Well, I loved finding that hook shot. That was like, okay, that's it. We're done. Let's go to Eastern and let's go to Pod.
Yeah, and I especially after having the plays into Misery Mire and Thieves Town, I bet it was definitely very, very welcome to see that. Were you feeling like behind it all at that point due to those gambles at all, or?
I kept a look at the time, and it's like, unless Cat got lucky, it was going to be quite the adventure. I had no idea where they were, and just the way the time was. I just knew that going into Thieves Town was going to be a time sink after I got out through blind and got absolutely nothing out of it. I mean, Misery Mire, the nice thing about Misery Mire was getting the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were making note of that. A lot of the time that you would lose diving in the mire would have been made up by the damage upgrade, making things a lot smoother.
And as far as and you mentioned that you're just not really sure where Cat was at that point and getting lucky. It is actually interesting you say that, because as you were finishing up Tower of Hera, Cat was making her way to the east side of Death Mountain to pick up those same 3 items. The big difference, though, is that sword, like you already mentioned, but there's also another item that you had that definitely made a huge difference. Can you think of what that item might be?
I'm gonna guess the silvers.
Nope, actually, she has the silvers.
The lamp?
Yep.
That's it.
Wow, yeah. That was a tough location for that lamp.
She has done a good job so far of navigating her rooms, lighting the torches with the fire rod wherever she can. Right now, she's getting a bit lost in Dark Maze and Turtle Rock.
Ooh, yeah, that's the one where if you lose where you are, it's good luck. I kind of liked seeing the lamp, but I also hated seeing the lamp because that told me at that point Aghanim was on the table and I had no idea what was in the tree, and any of those items could have been there.
Oh yeah, that's true. You never had that intel, did you?
Nope.
Well, thankfully, I believe it was just a heart container, so you have nothing to worry about, man.
And after an arduous journey, Cat makes it through that dark room and is now on Blazer Bridge.
Yeah, definitely major props to her for doing that. Again, like, that dark room and even just some of the Palace of Darkness dark rooms can be really tedious to get through. And, you know, when you have a newer player to Randomizer, apparently she's only started playing Randomizer not too long ago, so seeing that in a tournament race, no less, very nicely done. So definitely major props for her for doing all of this.
Definitely, and we'll see coming up on her try next fight if she continues to look for the sword upgrade as she before. Well, I guess probably after the tower. She'll probably be searching a few more chests in Ganon's tower looking for that sword upgrade.
Yeah, it's possible. We didn't see what's on the right side of Ganon's tower, so there could always be a sword laying in that area too.
Could also be one in the 3 chests I didn't check heading up the 6th floor.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you didn't check those either.
I did love the one that I checked that turned out to be a piece of part that gave me a health refill.
You love when that happens. That's always really nice when that happens. But yeah, definitely a very interesting race to watch back. There were times where you definitely kind of took a bit of a lead, but then just Cat taking some gambles here and there and actually kind of evening the score back up in crystal count for quite a bit of the seed until that go mode situation. But then right after she got the hook shot, she stepped in the Turtle Rock, gave that a go. Unfortunately, did not make it to the dark room, so she kind of took the same approach that you did, going back to the bottom of Hyrule, getting rid of all those other dungeons. And because she was kind of looking out for the lamp, also proceeded to full clear Palace of Darkness and Swamp Palace for that matter. So that's where a lot of the huge time sinks kind of went into play for her. But again, there was a large part of the race that was just like you'd be in the lead, but then she'd just catch right back up and it was even again. So it was really entertaining to watch. Definitely one to watch back.
I will mention, just because I saw the first sword pop up on my stats, I love that escape.
Oh yeah,
That was funny.
Fire rod. Okay, I love this as my first weapon. Oh, okay, never mind. We're pretty much just playing the standard. Just the sword was moved just a little bit.
Yeah.
I also made note of how the fire rod you labeled as item you most want to see in Randomizer, and how the ice rod is the one you least want to see. And you did actually kind of get the ice rod kind of late, considering.
Yeah, but I loved finding the ice rod when I did, because it told me, okay, we're not going to be going through all the Turtle Rock on a wild goose chase. So I'm glad I did that when I did. But like, if I could take anything back of this run, it would just have been going into Thieves Town after what turned out to be 4 chests of nothingness.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kat finishing off Trinax thanks to those potions that she acquired beforehand. Those definitely coming really in handy.
And she'll be making her way to Ganon's Tower as well. I guess that's just out of random curiosity here, Rick. If you would have potentially, like, let's just say after you got the ice rod, for example, if you decided to go to Death Mountain and proceeded to get the rest of the items you needed, would you have considered going the rest of the room with the rest of the race without the lamp, or would you kind of stuck around trying to look for that?
I would only have checked things that were in the convenient areas. I would not have gone out of my way to get it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, I'm comfortable enough as it is going through the Palace of Darkness. Yeah, that turtle room's rough, but it's a lot easier when you have the fire rod in the one room where you actually have to do combat. And luckily, with the placement of the keys, you didn't have to set foot into the Misery Mire, or not the Misery Mire, the maze, because the big key where it was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. And that's kind of what Kat did as well. She also didn't check the dark maze of Pod as well. Once she got that big key, she knew, okay, the lamp can't be in those 3 chests, so let's just get out of here. Looks like she is checking the right side of Ganon's Tower, having a little problem with the torches, though. I don't think she'll get this done in time.
Just so close. Gets it her second time through.
Nice, good job. So, Rick, how do you feel having your first win in this tournament and moving on to week 2 with a win under your belt?
It feels good, especially with a race like this. This is the kind of run that gives me some confidence, and we'll see how it takes me into week 2.
For sure, as we were talking about, sub 140, really excellent time for sure, and yeah, really sharp execution throughout the run as well. So definitely best of luck moving on to your second week round, and of course all of your other rounds as well. I think you'll definitely be a contender. So definitely keep up the good work.
Appreciate it. Let's see how week 2 goes. Hopefully the RNG of the pairings will go my way.
Well, we'll see. We have a lot of new runners in this tournament, so just having some fresh faces that might not have been on the scene for very long, but have been practicing a lot, could give you a run for your money, so who knows? But definitely wish you the best of luck.
Well, absolutely. I mean, right now, Kat, the way that she's going, just taking a look at the time right now, if she has a solid Aga 2 and a solid Ganon, is going to have very close to a 2 hour, and that's a very solid effort for somebody who's relatively an unknown.
Yeah, definitely, especially in a seed like this where looking like a tempered sword upgrade will not be found for her, and then also going through so many dark rooms as well. Again, can't stress enough, very, very well played by her.
Yeah, definitely. Those dark rooms, I just won't even bother touching them once I have the lamp, so definitely give props to her for taking that challenge on. Unfortunately, her bomb strats through that room did not work out so well, and opts to use the cane instead, and yeah. She'll pick up her big key very soon, but then after that, we'll see if she'll continue to look for more chests, looking for that other sword, or if she'll go straight up the tower.
She will be approaching her big key here, though, in just a little bit, so we'll see that on the menu at least.
Looks like she's not going to be checking the rest of the chests and is going right up the tower.
Meanwhile, while we are going up this tower, I guess it would be a pretty good time to kind of look at the schedule and see what's coming up for the rest of the night. As of right now, there is a match currently going on ALTTP Randomizer, the first and only channel for that. We have Mira-chan versus Cursed Aether. That'll be going on for probably the next hour or so. And then at 12:15 a.m., and these are all Eastern time zone, by the way, we have Buzz Thunder versus Badger, which is going to be on Speed Gaming, according to the schedule. So, yeah, definitely check those out if you want some more randomizers. There's going to be a lot more matches tomorrow, for the rest of the week, and for the next 7 weeks of this Swiss part of the tournament. Like we've said before, we have over 500 opponents, 512 to be exact. There's a lot of matches that need to be played, at least 256 per week. So you're going to have your fill of these randomizer matches. So if you want to catch more of this, if you like what you see, definitely consider checking out more matches. It will be a really, really fun time, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. There will not be any shortage of Link to the Past randomizer for actually the next several months, really. It's just a whole ton of matches in these Swiss portions.
That's true, and there's always, like, other tournaments that seem to be going on. It seemed like right after the Key Sandy tournament ended, this tournament started. So
why couldn't I get a fairy in this climb up the gauntlet?
I don't know, Rick. I don't know.
Because you got the heart piece to replenish all your other hearts.
That didn't mean I wanted to really be sweating bullets with 2 hearts left on Ganon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's a fair thing to say. Seriously, I feel like the developers of this game just kind of went a bit insane when it came to BMOs in this section, just putting them on conveyor belts. It's like, come on. Why would you do that to your game players?
Oh, no, but having more than one on each.
Oh, that's
each
true. Yeah,
one.
there's more.
Like, you get bopped by one, and then the next one bops you, and you're just like, well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And gets 2 nice silver shots on 2 of the land nodes. Gets the 3rd one right there. 3 cycle, not too bad. Okay, so Kat is in the final leg of the Ganon's Tower climb. Gonna be more than likely checking these chests for stuff, so we'll see if we can get maybe something in here.
Unfortunately, just a red rupee there and a piece of heart.
I left my butt off if the powdered room here has the sword upgrade.
Well, that is kind of what she's hoping for at this point.
Yeah, I understand that. Where was powder?
Wasn't... I want to say swamp. Yeah, swamp, but I could be right.
Yeah, I believe it was there. Yeah, it was on the left side. I think it was
Okay.
3 bombs and powder. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, it was definitely one of the dungeons you go moded, so...
unfortunately it takes a fall with Moldorm.
Yeah, sometimes Moldorm just doesn't know how to play nice, so gonna have to just keep trying until he gets the hint. There we go. Well, looks like Cat's gonna get an extra container too from the top of Ganon's Tower, so that's nice.
Yep, she'll be coming up here on Aganon fairly shortly. Having a little bit of trouble with these helm stars. But really, definitely looking forward to her Ganon fight if she jumps right in for it.
I'm actually going to be curious about this Aganon fight, just because, Rick, you seem to have a little bit of a difficulty with this fight too, actually.
I hated this fight. I really hated this fight.
Yeah,
I have to learn angles a little bit better.
Have some nice geometry classes. You did get a triple though at the end, right?
Yeah, I love that at the very, very end. It's like, okay, how could this get any worse? Oh, okay, we'll get a triple.
You've suffered enough. Here's a triple.
She's having quite a bit of trouble here. But finally gets that last hit in.
There we go. Aghanim is down for the count, and we have one more boss fight remaining. Going to be doing this with Master Sword. Thankfully silvers, but also with Fire Rod and no lamp, which means going to be wasting quite a bit of that magic meter to light those torches.
I really hope she's got some magic or potions in the bottle.
I think she does have a few left.
I know she has a fairy that she caught in the safety room right before the gauntlet, but let's see. I believe she has one, maybe two potions from before she went up the mountain again.
She bought 3, I know that. She used 1 in Turtle Rock, I know that. I think she at least has 1.
Yeah, the potion is more the important thing. Yeah, the fairies in the bottle are nice. I think at this point she's got to have a potion. Otherwise, it's going to be really tense even with the silvers coming up.
Yeah, as you can see, in order for the Master Sword to work against Ganon, you actually have to use spins here. You can't just use your normal sword swipes. Ganon will not be affected by them. Whenever you get a hit in with the spin, you will bounce halfway through the room. So you have to be...
No.
Ooh, and yeah, no potions. Okay, so she just has the fairy.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that fairy's going to be burned up right here.
Mm-hmm.
Make very good use of that hook shot.
Yeah, also the invincibility frames too.
Oh, unfortunately, she gets sniped by that bat. Oh, she has another fairy.
Oh yeah, she has a second fairy. Okay. Well, still on this.
Definitely gonna have to play very conservatively here. Fortunately, these bats just do a number of damage, even with red mail.
And accidentally walks into the corner of the bat right there.
Yeah, we'll probably be seeing her going to get some fill up on potions at the witch's hut. She might opt to check like a few more chests, looking for that sword. Unfortunately, not gonna find it because the one that we know of is in Mystery Mire. Yeah, so really finding all those rupees at the beginning of the game and in Ganon's Tower kind of help fund for the protection that she's going to need when she dives right back into this Ganon fight.
Yeah, that's right. 2 300 rupee chests in the Link's house and escape sequence, and then of course just all the rupees found throughout the seed. Definitely we're not low on cash in this one. And yeah, the one good thing about having Blue Potion as opposed to fairies is that whenever you use a fairy, you won't be healing all your hearts. Now, the Blue Potion, she will be healing all of her hearts, so just gotta remember to use it before taking a death, and that's gonna be a couple of extra hits compared to what they had for the first attempt.
She moves on to phase 2. Now, right now, I would opt. Yeah, there she goes. Use a potion.
At times like this, I bet she wishes that she had the cape or something, because with the cape, you can at least do spin slashes.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Cane of Burna kind of eats up your sparkly sprite.
Mm-hmm.
And won't let you, it'll let you hold out your sword, but it won't let you charge.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was dangerous.
That was. And I would use another potion right now.
Ooh, I'm glad that the bat spawned up there and not right next to her, because that could have been really close.
Yeah, I can't imagine she has too many more hits left for this phase.
Ooh.
I believe that was her last one, her last potion, so she's gonna need to get this torch glitch coming up if she makes it through. Oh, unfortunately she gets sniped by that last one. Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, that is really, really unfortunate. I can imagine what she might be thinking. Just like, this is really, really annoying to do, and then just, you know, getting so close, just wanting to finish the race, knowing that your opponent's also finished a while ago. Just, you know, you don't want to be doing the fight anymore, and sometimes just you accidentally get a little careless and sometimes get in a bad situation like that, so it's very understandable what she's going through right now.
Yeah, but I definitely commend her for trucking along. So she has enough for three more blue potions right now.
One thing she's gonna have to learn is when he's giving you this setup right here, this upper left corner, or rather the upper right corner, she's got to learn how to get herself set up in the top right corner, because that's really where the best strat is.
Yeah, it'll allow multiple hits to be gotten, and then also it'll push you against the wall and not knock you so far out of the way, so you can just kind of get more hits in at once.
But once again, we're at the dreaded fireball phase. Fortunately, it hooks right into the ring.
Yeah, this really is, like, definitely the hardest part of this Ganon fight setup, just because you have to get spins
There
in.
we go.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's very nice. Gonna get a couple of hits in there.
Yeah, she has to take damage getting in there, and trying to come out. But I mean, she has a whole ton of potions, so has quite a bit of life to play with.
And a fairy, too, I believe, so might opt to use that first. Or just, okay, red potion, that's fine, that's fair. Okay, getting more hits in there at the top right corner, as Rick talked about.
Wisely using the red potions first, so she can use the ones to refill on magic in the later phase.
And we get to
And
stage 3.
Okay, we made the phase 3.
Great job. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to play the dance again.
Ganon, please!
Yeah, I know, this is nerve-wracking here. And the problem is that because she took the death, she's not on the same cycle as I was.
Yeah, that's right, so... If anything, this ended up being worse, although now he's being kind of reasonable, I guess, but...
Ooh, please bat, no, please bat. There we go.
Come on. Come on, Ganon, please. Alright, she makes it through. Gets the torch glitch.
Nice, very nice.
You know, we just gotta worry about the 4 silver arrows. Come on. Oh!
And there's one.
And thankfully she still has the blue potion.
Yeah, she needs to be careful not to getting knocked onto the sides by this bat.
Ooh.
And again, those bounces every time she strikes them, those also push her quite a ways through the arena.
Oh, that denied her the shot.
One more, guys.
Come on, come on, come on.
Got it.
Good job.
Good game.
All right, GG.
Whew. I'm sweating just watching like all of it.
Everyone, get your GGs in chat for that. That is a really, really tough fight to do with just Master Sword and really
Fire
well
Rod
done.
and not having half magic. It's
Mhm.
definitely not an easy endeavor. But with that, although her efforts were tried and true, she takes the loss here. But we definitely commend her and respect her for her perseverance throughout the run.
Yeah, not only getting through that rough Ganon fight, but also just approaching the latter half of the seed with no lamp or tempered sword, getting through the rest of the game without those items. Very, very nicely done.
Yep, and we'll be bringing her in for an post-game interview, well, as soon as she joins in the room.
And she has joined us. Hello, Kat. GG. Congratulations on your finish. How are you feeling after going through the second half of that seed with no lamp, Master Sword, and getting through a really, really tough Ganon fight? You are also muted, by the way.
Is that better?
Yes,
Yep.
we hear you now.
Yeah, I said that it was really super tough, and I know I can do all of those things individually, but to be able to string them together today, it was really special.
GG.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Whew.
Yeah, I definitely commend you for getting through all of that and persevering through it like that. I know, like, I would not have bothered with the dark rooms until I found the lamp.
I'm sure you noticed all of my indecision. I kept like doing something and I'm like, okay, no this. And I kept wanting to keep finding it. And I was like, no, I know I can do it. I can do it. I'll do it.
You did. You did it. You definitely did it. So seriously, major, major congrats on that. That was really, really nicely done. And, you know, despite all of that, it's actually kind of interesting because technically, considering what you had at the end of the seed, you actually did hit go mode before Rick did.
Oh no.
Yeah, basically what happened is Rick did take a few extra gambles, checked Misery Mire, which is where he found a tempered sword,
Whoa.
and also checked the Graveyard Ledge, which is where the lamp was hiding.
I didn't even think about that. Wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah, that's one of those locations that's very easy to forget if you're not either in the direct area or just thinking about it. So
Yes, especially because I had gone to King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks early. I didn't really go back up there.
Right, that's true. Yeah, because you had access to that like right after Sahashvili's hut. So yeah,
Oh, it was a good race.
it
Yeah.
was.
You're gonna be a solid threat come week 2. I'll tell you that. Especially if we give you a tempered sword next time around.
I hope I get one. That was not fun, and I'm going into I'm so bad at Ganon, and Aghanim I'm probably even worse. And I'm really sad that I had to show the world that.
yeah, well, that Aghanim pattern was also less to be desired. So no one can really blame you, and even like the top runners practice the Ganon fight all the time. So the end game is very much nothing to be ashamed of having difficulty with.
I'll work on it.
Well, hey, there were a lot of people watching you, but honestly, I don't think you should be embarrassed. There were so many people cheering you on and just trying to help you through that, because those are some really rough conditions you had to finish the seed with.
I don't know if you guys had mentioned it all, but this was my very first race. Like, I've done races, but not on SRL or anything, just kind of at my home, like putting seeds on at my house. And so this was the very first race I've ever done in any setting for anyone, and it was with everyone, like on this stream, and it was incredibly nerve-wracking. I had a lot of lag to begin with, which was horrible.
Yeah, we did mention that you are like fairly new to the randomizer. Did not note that fact, so yeah, definitely thank you for mentioning that, because yeah, that's really impressive. So you have so much to be proud of. That was really, really good run.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as Rick said, you're definitely going to be someone to look out for. Looking forward in these next several weeks.
Awesome, thank you. Great race, Rick.
Yeah, good job to you, and good luck to you in week 2.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, so we are actually going to have to very quickly close things up here. We do have another race starting pretty immediately. It is actually going to be a little late because this one kind of went on a little bit, and this race was added kind of at the last minute to this channel. But yes, definitely special thank you to both of our runners, Adirondackrick and Katatatta. Really great race. Definitely watch it back, you two, and everyone in chat, definitely consider giving these guys a follow. They put on a great show for all of us, and it was a really fun race to watch. Also, major thank you to our tracker for this race, Cyclone GU. Thank you for tracking and pressing all of those buttons that keep us up to date on all the items that are in play. And of course, thank you to my fellow co-commentator, DSit7. It was a lot of fun working with you on this seed. It was a lot of fun to watch, and yeah, thank you for the good times.
And thank you as well. I learned a lot from commentating. It's my first time, and I definitely look forward to. I definitely learned a lot, and have certainly look forward to commentating and running for the rest of this tournament.
Indeed, and of course, everyone in chat, if you want to see more randomizer action, make sure you follow all the Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming 2 through 6, and the ALTTPR randomizer channels, ALTTP randomizer and then ALTTP randomizer 2 through 4. Matches for this tournament are going to be showcasing throughout all of the coming months, so definitely give them a check out, and stay tuned to more of this tournament. It's going to be a great tournament, and I hope you guys enjoy. This is Slim Kirby signing out, and we'll see you guys later.
See you guys.